In the first scene, we see a king and his army riding their horses across the mountain. They appear to be running from a dragon angrily soaring above them. They find themselves in a cave where they each try to defend themselves from the dragon. The king and his men find out they are no match for the dragon, and it spits fire, taking out most of the king's men. The rest are left to fight for their lives, but arrive at the same fate as their mates. The king is now at the dragon's mercy as he plants his sword firmly on the ground and bows down to the dragon. Centuries later, Elodie and her sister are collecting wood, and on their way home, they realize people from the area are vacating from their kingdom. Food had become scarce in the kingdom, and the people were struggling. Elodie and her sister arrive at their father's chamber, only to find them with a visitor who takes a good look at Elodie before Elodie asks her father what the meeting is about. Lord Bayford explains that it's a marriage proposal from Queen Isabel of Aurea Kingdom. Lord Bayford explains that the union would also benefit their kingdom since it was already dying. Elodie is hesitant about the proposal, claiming that was no reason for marriage. Her father pleads with her to do it for their people. Preparations are made, and they begin their journey to Aurea's kingdom. Through the journey, Elodie is seemingly sad knowing she's getting married to people she has never heard of. She shares her concerns with her sister, who tries to cheer her up. They arrive at their destination, which seems a bit odd at first, but they warm up to it once they see how flourished it was. They are warmly welcomed by the guards and each showed to their room. Later that night, Elodie and her sister Floria share a light moment, wishing her the best in her new life. The next day, Elodie's family is introduced to the Queen, King, and Prince Henry, who would be Elodie's new husband. Floria lets them know she's in awe of the palace, as the grown-ups go aside to discuss trivial matters. Elodie and Prince Henry take a walk getting to know each other. Elodie mentions that she was guilted into the marriage, hence the many questions she was asking Henry. The prince has a sad look on his face, but Elodie assures him that she has made peace with it, if this is what her people need. They go horse riding in the valley, and Elodie cannot hide her amusement. They both share how they have always dreamt of traveling the world and seeing new places, and promise each other that one day they would. Elodie's father comes out of the meeting with a grim face. His wife, also the girl's stepmother, tries to get him to talk to her, but is met with a stern look. She doesn't seem convinced that the meeting went well. Later on, she finds Queen Isabel decorating her flowers and tries to strike up a conversation with her. The queen isn't very warm to her and subtly reminds her of her place as the daughter of a rope maker. Elodie's stepmother is now suspicious of the queen's motives. Later that night, she tries to warn Elodie, but is interrupted by their father, who says the girls needed a good rest because of the big day ahead of them. The next day, on her wedding day, Elodie is royally dressed in an elegant white gown adorned with silver embroidery. Her sister watches her in awe as she praises her beauty. In the ceremony, Elodie walks down the aisle with grace and a smile on her face. A priest blesses the union after the vows are exchanged as the families watch with smiles that feel rehearsed. The wedding concludes as Elodie says goodbye to her family. It's a bittersweet moment as they bid her farewell, wishing her a good life with her new family. Elodie and her new husband get on the chariot, heading to one of the ceremonial rituals performed by the Aurea Kingdom. Prince Henry tells Elodie they are going to pay homage to their ancestors up the mountain. The pathway to the mountain was decorated with rose petals, making Elodie feel like the princess she was. They finally make it to the top, where they find the queen and a few other guests waiting for them. The guests wore masks on their faces, which made Elodie quite uneasy, but an assuring nod from Henry made her relax a little. The queen narrates an ancient tale where their ancestors made a pact with a dragon, requiring the sacrifice of 3 daughters of each generation to ensure peace in the kingdom. Elodie and Henry cut open their palms and join hands symbolically, showing that Elodie is of the royal blood. The queen tells them that the ceremony is over and they can go back. Henry offers to carry Elodie across the bridge, and she is flustered as she closes her eyes. Henry comes to a stop as he whispers, "I'm sorry," to Elodie. He goes on to throw Elodie under the bridge as a sacrifice to the dragon. She screams as she plummets into darkness with confusion and horror. She crashes into a vast ancient cave, which is the lair of the dragon. Elodie wakes up in shock and horror as she realizes she has been betrayed. She tries to find her way through the cave, screaming for help. This wakes up the dragon from his sleep, but it does not make a move. Elodie, panicking and yelling, moves around the cave and discovers remnants of the past victims, including personal belongings. She comes to a horrifying conclusion. She was part of the sacrifice. She hears some noise coming from a corner and goes to check it out. Little birds coming from one direction flew directly to where she was standing. Elodie comes face to face with the dragon as she tries to run for her life. The dragon reveals to Elodie that it's here to collect what it's owed. It goes ahead to suggest that Elodie is betrayed by the scent of the royal blood. It then dawns on Elodie the reason as to why they had their palms cut at the ritual. The dragon spits fire as Elodie fights for her life through the caves. She stumbles upon remains of past sacrifices while running, and the royal dress keeps slowing her down. The dragon catches up with her and shoots fire, causing Elodie to injure her foot. The dragon takes pride in its act, claiming Elodie was quite a challenge. She dismantles her dress, trying to cover up her wound. Elodie is in so much pain, yet somehow, she manages to keep crawling, finding her way around the cave. She drags herself into a quiet, dimly lit corner that feels different from the rest of the cave. She lies back, reminiscing about her family and the betrayal from Prince Henry. She takes off her ring and throws it into the abyss. She gathers strength and finds a way to climb up through the tunnels. Her royal dress had its perks. Tiny glowing insects begin to appear from the shadows. She dips her cupped hands into the pool and begins to drink. The young sea cold water stings her throat, and she spats it out. She stands next to an ice block that drips water as she enjoys a moment of relief and a moment of peace. The moment is short-lived as the ice begins to melt and the temperature changes. The ice walls begin to drip as the dragon lands with a thunderous crash, melting the sanctuary around her. Elodie quickly scrambles back into the cave. On the wall, she could see notes from previous girls that had been used as a sacrifice. The writing on the walls made her realize that this cruelty had been going on for centuries. It made her wonder if any of the girls had ever made it out alive. As she tried to get some sleep, she could see figures of girls that had been down there, each of them trying to fight their way out. While she was asleep, the insects she carried around landed on her wound. To her astonishment, the pain began to disappear and the wound seemed to heal itself. She stares at them in wonder. Feeling healed and renewed, Elodie decides to use the maps on the wall to navigate the terrain. She carved her name on the wall as well as she made her way into the cave. She feels a glimmer of hope as she now has a sense of direction in the cave. She boldly climbed up the wall of crystals with the hope of finding light at the end of the tunnel. Her boots slipped and she caught herself with a gasp as she found grip on another crystal. The dragon taunted her and belittled her efforts. With one final push, Elodie found herself at the top of the tunnel with light coming from a far end. But as she looked out of the tunnel, she realized there was nowhere to go. Her heart sunk in disappointment. The dragon taunted her, reminding her that there was only one ending to their story. Suddenly, Elodie heard voices shouting her name in the cave. As she climbs down the tunnel, she comes across the room where 3 daughters of the dragon were ambushed by the king centuries ago. This was the place where the queen made a pact with the dragon to sacrifice royal females in revenge for her daughters. Meanwhile, Elodie's father and some guides are already in the cave looking for her. Some of the guides mock the existence of the dragon. The dragon emerged from its corner, sweeping the guard off his feet. It took out the guards one by one, and the only one left was Elodie's father. The dragon asked Elodie's father to call her out of her hiding spot to save his life. Elodie's father took the opportunity to apologize to her daughter for his greedy decisions that put her in jeopardy. He instructs her not to come out of where she was hiding. With this, the dragon pierced its claws into Lord Bayford's chest. Elodie, who was watching from a distance, could not hold back her tears, and a loud gasp escaped her mouth. The dragon knew she was around and turned around looking for her. One of the guards who survived caught the dragon's attention, distracting it from Elodie. She quickly ran to her dying father, who told her how she would escape using the ropes they came in with. The dragon saw Elodie and quickly switched its attention to her. By this time, Elodie had managed to climb out of the cave and got on a horse. She rode as quickly as she could, but decided to mislead the dragon by jumping off the horse and letting the dragon chase it. At the palace, Queen Aria curses as she realizes Elodie made it out alive. She walks away angrily, claiming she would fix it. She makes her way to a cabin where Floria and her stepmother are locked in. She orders her guard to take away Floria, and another guard wounds her stepmother. The next morning, Elodie wakes up from her hiding spot. She can't believe she made it out alive. She walks around and suddenly meets up with her wounded stepmother. She explains to her how her younger sister was taken away by the queen's men. Elodie rides away, claiming she knows how they could get her back. Meanwhile, the queen cuts open Floria's palm and cuts open her palm to mix the blood. She orders her men to throw the girl into the dragon's den. Elodie arrives at the ritual destination only to find her sister is already gone. With no hesitation, she uses the ropes to walk down the cave. She armors herself ready for war to save her sister. We see the dragon flying around with Floria in her arms. Elodie creates a distraction, causing the dragon to walk away from Floria. She makes her way to her sister and tries to wake her up. The two reunite, but unfortunately there is no time for the reunion. Elodie orders Floria to hide, as now she faces the dragon by herself. She explains to the dragon that they had both been lied to by the queen's ancestors. The dragon does not believe Elodie and makes sure she understands that she will take every royal daughter to avenge hers. Convinced that Elodie is lying, she spits fire at her, causing her to fall into a pool, sustaining serious fire burns. Elodie swims ashore while badly injured but still not giving up. The dragon catches up to her and drives her claws into Elodie's ribcage. She does not hold back as she drives a dagger in the dragon's eye. They both lie on the floor wounded, but none willing to give up. Elodie puts up a fight. She plunges her sword into the dragon's chest, only making it angrier. Elodie tries to explain to the dragon that she isn't one of the royals, but the dragon insists it can smell her royal blood. Elodie tricks the dragon into thinking she has given up and is ready to let it win. She yells at the dragon to spit fire in her direction. The dragon hesitantly shoots fire, but Elodie sucks down, causing the fire to bounce back and burn the dragon instead. The mighty dragon falls in agony and pain as it growls at Elodie. Elodie takes the chance to explain to the dragon how the queen makes them have royal blood. She explained they sacrificed other people's innocent daughters to the dragon. The dragon, seemingly giving up, asks Elodie to finish it off since it is clear she has won. Instead, Elodie walks off to the pond and cups the glowing insects that healed her wounds. She places the insects on the dragon's injured body. Next, we see Prince Henry in another wedding ceremony. Elodie majestically walks up to them. Henry is shocked and tries to explain himself, but his mother arrogantly asks him to shut up. Elodie convinces the new bride to walk away with her family. The queen makes it clear that she is not afraid of her just because she somehow defeated the dragon. Elodie assures them that their time has come to an end as the dragon hovers above Elodie. The dragon appears healthy and angry at the same time. It opens up its mouth and spits jets of fire into the palace and the people in it, leading to their unfortunate demise. Elodie and the dragon walk away with victory on their faces. In the final scene, Elodie is taking a stroll with her sister and stepmother, engaged in a conversation. She tells her mother they would both run the kingdom their father left behind. Elodie and Lady Bayford share a warm moment as Elodie now acknowledges her as her mother. They walk off as the ship is steered away. The dragon hovers above them at peace as they sail off to their home.